Fitzsimmons with Fox Racing Shox, and I'm here with Mark Weir, and we're going to talk about the 2008 product. So the main thing we're looking at for 2008 is damping, some small chassis changes, and philosophy of how we change the damping and the tuning. And I'm going to lead into the F120 forks, and then we're going to go into 36, and then 40s, and then into rear shocks. So on F120 forks for 2008, we lightened up the chassis, we increased the travel, changed the damper, went to a little more compression damping, a little more control, so we can run lighter spring rates, and that flows across the board on all the dampers for 2008. And helped Mark Weir here at Downeyville, got him down the mountain, hopefully a little bit quicker so he can keep his record going. You can see we got a scalloped crown on it. Let's take some weight out. We took weight out in material in the lowers in certain areas. If you go behind the brace here, you can see we've taken out material. So basically just bringing out the weight where it's important and keeping the stiffness where we can. Because the goal is always to try to decrease weight a little bit and keep the stiffness. And we don't want to sacrifice stiffness and control. So that's the fine line we're always working with.
What is the weight of this fork?
The weight of this fork here is 3.45 pounds.
And just to let you know, Adam Craig has been killing it on this fork. Killing it.
Large carbon.
He likes it.
It's won us a national championship and got lots of titles with it this year. So it's been a success. I'm going to talk a bit about the Float series, which is up to 140 millimeters of travel. This has been the fork that's put us on the market, and has lots of features and small changes again. You can put it on up to almost 6-inch travel bikes, 4-inch travel bikes, and it gives them pretty much the same as the rest of our forks. Good control, nice tunability, and weight's kept low again for the stiffness that it has. And Talus, adjustable 100, 120, 140. So it's also a great fork for guys that are doing pump tracks or dirt jump, slalom type stuff, because they can just, with a switch of a lever, they can go down and travel to set that bike up for that condition or that kind of riding. One of the things we do with our race programs is you see us doing a lot of downhill testing and at different courses and places around the world, and one of the reasons for that is we can trickle what we learn in that technology tested at that extreme down into the 36 and the other categories. And the 36 is a prime example of that testing going directly from downhill into a product. The damper has the same upgrades and changes as the 40, and rides higher in the stroke, so you can run lower spring rates. There's 3 models. We have the Talus, the Float, the Vanilla, and each one can suit a different rider or kind of terrain. And they have a little bit of weight differences, but it comes down to what a rider prefers. Coil's a little bit heavier, more sensitive. Talus allows a rider to adjust the travel for going uphill or downhill, and the Float's basically a combination of both. Can adjust the travel, but it's really nice and light, and meets the requirements of guys that are winning Downeyville.
Yeah, the new fork definitely made a difference in the way that it handled under braking. With the diving, it doesn't dive nearly at all, and it just keeps you up and keeps you in control under braking, which made a huge difference for hand pump and everything else with body position changing and getting later in the race and getting tired. It definitely helps keep you under control. And with the ability to take your front wheel off without tools is a huge thing for me in the backcountry, and being able to change a flat tire if I do get one.
As you can see here, it's all tools, tool free. So you got a little lever here. You got the 2 levers on each side. You put a lot of attention in the detail and the action to make sure leverage ratio is right on the levers, and they're really easy and user friendly. We took material out of the lower again, trying to lighten it up, keep the weight, keep the stiffness, of course. And this is a really good all-mountain, all-around fork. This is the 40 for 2008. Minor changes, but important ones. Through the testing, listening to the riders, and learning what they prefer for their setups and a certain type of riding style, we made damping improvements, and that was the main change on the 40. So basically what we did is we call it tightening up the circuits on the compression and rebound, and it allows the bike to ride a little bit higher. Again, they can run a little bit lower spring rate, and it just gives them more control overall. It takes 8 inches of travel, and, high, low-speed compression, separate circuits, rebound, so they can really set it up for every course they want to. And that's the main change for the 40, but it's an important one because that's the one thing we needed to focus on. I'm going to talk about the RP23, which is our most successful rear shock. Changes going into this year is more tunability, tuning, wider range, rebound, different pro pedal settings, changing the range, giving it more of a platform if we need to, more of a blow off if we need to, and we put a lot of attention into custom tuning the shock for the specific rider or OE customer. It has the lever, 3-position of pro pedal, rebound, and new air valve position. And this allows for a lot of frames to be easier access to get to, and that's the main changes for the RP23 for 2008. Okay, this is the DHX Air, and for 2008 we focused on refining the valving a little bit, changed the boost valve design, and gives more of a wider range of platform or low-speed compression. We've also changed the valving a little bit, given a little bit more compression, changed the rebound a little bit, and the biggest feature on the DHX Air is the lever, where it used to have 15 clicks of pro pedal or low-speed compression adjustment. Now it's just a lever, so you can turn it on and off, which is really nice for climbing. That was a request from a lot of our customers and riders, and it's been really beneficial for us. Again, it's a shock Mark Weir races on, and gets us the results we need. And as the old saying goes, you win on Sunday, you sell on Monday. So it's been doing a good job.
That's some funny stuff.
I'm going to talk about the DHX coil now, and this is a shock that's been very successful for us for downhill racing and free ride and all mountain use as well. Made valving changes again, added a little bit of compression, changed the rebound circuit a bit, give it a different rebound feel. You still have rebound control, same as before, but we're just changing whether it's deep stroke or at the top of the stroke on rebound, and that was a change that came out of the new bike designs, linkage designs more and more, and just allows the rider to have a better feel for rebound control, deeper stroke while they're racing, and with some of the different linkage curves. It's just like the DHX Air. The boost valve has been redesigned so pressures can be ran higher, and the adjustment range is wider, and it also gives a better ramp at the end of controlled stroke on the bottom out control. One of the things that's really important we've been focusing on with rear shocks is balance with the fork. You can add compression or a certain characteristic to the fork, but if the back isn't tuned to that, the front might ride high, the back will ride low, the bike will will push in corners, or vice versa, it'll tuck in corners. So we'll really work on making sure the balance of the front and rear are working together, because it allows a really fast pro rider to really focus on his center weight mass on the bike and let the bike drift and control evenly through corners, rather than having to compensate for one or the other if it's not right.
When I'm hitting stuff going high speed and not getting bucked and just coming through stuff, staying nice and centered on the bike, and my bike's tracking together with the front and rear suspension, it makes a huge difference. And if you're not familiar with how to tune the stuff, these guys can really dial you in. It's pretty impressive to see how the bike actually can handle when it's done by a professional, and it makes it easier for me to win races, or at least go there and compete. So it's good stuff.
And that covers our 2008 product line and what's new for 2008. And I encourage you to go out there, test it, ride it, come over to us at the races or any festivals and events. Ask us questions, ask us to set it up for you, help you with the tuning, that kind of thing. And we're at every race just about, and going to festivals more and more. And we want to make sure everyone's bikes are set up properly and they're going away with a happy smile on their face at the end of the day. Thank you.
Yeah. Out at Interbike, we're done.